Influenza is a viral illness caused by an RNA virus. Now, RNA viruses do not copy themselves very well. Being single-stranded, they lack fidelity. That is to say, you need two strands of double-stranded DNA to have a polymerase which copies accurately. The reason that's important is that influenza is able to change itself on a yearly basis, to drift, so that we need a new vaccine every year. For more than 60 years, we have had effective vaccines against influenza. It's usually given as a single annual dose, although in children, the first time they receive it, 2 doses are required. In many countries, such as Australia, influenza vaccine is now recommended and paid for by the government. In Australia, under the National Immunisation Program, adults who have any chronic medical condition which makes them at increased risk, such as issues to do with their heart, their lungs, their liver, or their kidney, and also people who are diabetic, are recommended to have annual flu shots. Influenza is an unpredictable disease. We never know when the next pandemic is going to come, and in 2009 we had the first pandemic of the 21st century due to influenza. Most influenza infections are actually quite mild. They can be a simple runny nose and a cough similar to a common cold. And it's only a minority of infections that have the classic symptoms of a headache, sore muscles, high fever, and being so weak and unwell that you can't get out of bed. However, influenza is responsible every year in Australia for about 2,500 deaths and for 35,000 annual deaths in the United States. But most of those deaths are in the elderly. Indeed, the great majority, over 90%, are in people over 65 to 75 years of age. There are a number of myths about influenza vaccination. Some people think you can catch the flu from the vaccine. Well, you can't, because the virus used is killed first, and then it's taken apart and used to make the vaccine. So you cannot catch influenza from the vaccine. Some people worry about the side effects from the vaccine. Most commonly, when people get side effects, they'll get a fever and maybe a chill or some sore muscles. Sometimes people ascribe the symptoms of another infection to influenza. Not every flu-like illness is influenza. There's half a dozen or more common viruses that we can catch in the winter.